let's go to baseball though, Rob. And interesting situation in New York. Aaron Judge, we know, how great he is and potentially great he is. But what's interesting, so he was in contract negotiations with the Yankees. Judge has set a deadline of today. He wants to focus on the regular season, so he doesn't want to be in contract talks, which I get.
Right.
But they didn't come to an agreement. And the Yankees offered him a $230 million contract extension offer. Rob, it was worth about $30 million per year, 30.5 per year to be exact. Now, what's interesting is Brian Cashman, the GM for the Yankees, Rob, came out and gave the numbers.
Yes. Numbers
come out, obviously, but they're usually agents giving them anonymously.
Right.
Yeah, to writers. And so for him to come out and drop the numbers, first give me your thoughts on that, and then tell me, what do you think, Aaron Judge, think about him turning down a offer of $30.5 million per year, total $230 million. What was that, 7 years? 7 years, $230 million.
I think Brian Cashman was being transparent because Yankee fans, Chris, the one thing about the Yankees, a lot of tradition, a lot of great players. Judge is the first player I ever saw the Yankees do when they put up the judge's chamber, Chris, when fans wearing the wigs and they sit in that box. They've never done that for anybody. Not for Jeter, not for Reggie Jackson, nobody, okay? So he's one of their guys. He came up through their system, and all that.
Right.
And I think they wanted to let Yankee fans know we're not playing around. We offered him a great contract. Aaron Judge will be 30 on April 26th. And, Chris, I'm going to say it. He made a mistake. I think Aaron Judge made a mistake not taking this deal.
Wow.
When you look at a couple of factors, he ain't 25. He's 30. His record is that he's injured often. Last year, Chris, he had his best year since his rookie year. He was healthy. He played the entire year. It was big. And he played like we expected him. Big home runs, RBIs, hit for average, everything. Okay?
Yep.
Happy. And he's a good defensive player as well. But you're going to be 30. Chris, we talk about injuries all the time. Could be injured. And here's the last caveat why I think it is. What if you don't have a good year? The pressure is on to have a good year. And I don't know how much more money he thinks he's going to get with this upcoming year. Not for age 30. Tatis, Chris got a deal $300 million, but he's 23.
Right.
Some of these other guys are way younger than Aaron Judge where teams decided. The Pirates just signed Key Bryant Hayes, Chris, to the largest contract in the history of the Pittsburgh Pirates. You know what he got? 7 years, $70 million. The Pirates have never signed anybody past $60 million.
Win. That's why they haven't won since Willie Stargell.
Right, since 1979. But
we
you see
are
what I'm
family.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like he's 25, and that's what he got. I'm not saying he's the same. I just think that's a good contract for what we call a late bloomer or a guy, you know what I mean, about to be 30 years old. Your peak in baseball is up to about 32, 33, Chris, and they're giving him a 7-year extension. I don't know. I think I would have signed that contract. I think he made a mistake.
Well, Rob, there are 13 players, and I'm sure that this is one of the things that Judge and his agent is looking at. There are 13 players making more than him per year, or, more than the offer, the $30.5 million offer. A lot of them obviously are pitchers, Garrett Cole, Strasburg, DeGrom, David Price, Trevor Bauer. But I'm sure he's looking at Anthony Rendon got $36 million.
Right.
Per. So my main issue, Rob, is not his age. Because number one, it's not going to happen with every player, but obviously guys can play better longer now. right? It wouldn't be shocking if at 38 he still was a fantastic player or a very good player. So I'm not as concerned about his age as I am about his injuries. Like, to me, that's what it comes down to, Rob. And that's why I do think, obviously, I think the Yankees offered him a lower number than they otherwise would have, because in 2 of his 6 seasons, or I should say in 4 of his 6 seasons, he's been injured.
Right.
Only 2 times in 6 years has he played a complete season. And that's where, to me, you said he made a mistake. I only think he made a mistake if he gets hurt. If he gets hurt. Now, you're right. He could have a bad year.
Chris, if he has
we've seen Bryce Harper have bad, right? A great year and then a bad year, so it's possible.
No, you could bounce back. You could bounce back, right? I mean, Bryce Harper won the MVP, but the year before, Chris, wasn't that great.
Right. You know
what I mean?
Harper's
so
more up and down. I think if Judge is healthy, he'll play well. But that's a real question to me. And what if, Rob, he plays 70 games this year?
Right.
Is anybody lining up to give him that deal? That's where I think you make a great point. I just think it's more to do with health than age, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm just saying most of the guys you're talking about, how much more does he really think he's going to get? That's what I ask you, Chris.
Well, if he has a great year, let's say he plays, the full season, he's healthy, and he has a typical year for him.
So you think he'll get $70 million more? I mean, what's the max? He's not going to get more than 300.
Because he's only going to get about, I think the max time he would get would be 10 years. Max.
Right.
No, that's a good point.
And it also limits where you can go.
Because is he getting more than 30? I mean, he could get 30. I think he could get maybe 30. If he has a great year,
right,
he could get more per year. But it depends on how long
of a contract,
is it gonna be.
Right? Because he's 30, April 26th. So you got to take an account of that. I mean, I think you're not giving, like when they gave Tatis 13 years, he was 22 or 3. You know what I mean? Like he still would be, even after all those years, would be younger. I don't know. I think you're rolling the dice because so many things can happen. So many things. And we're not wishing it on him, obviously, Chris, but injury is a part of his history.
We hope he stays healthy.
No, we enjoyed watching him last year.
He's almost like a baseball equivalent to Anthony Davis, right? Real talk.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying, it's necessarily the same causes, but that's what it's like you're almost waiting for him to get hurt. And you said it, you mentioned late bloomer. And that's one of the issues with him is that, I mean, he's going to be 30. Most guys, even with the rules as they are in baseball, are up for that first deal. The stars,
right? They pay him before they get there, right?
Then he.
You don't have the Yankees are letting him go through the whole process, Chris. Which normally when you have a younger player, but they couldn't do it because he was hurt. You see what I'm saying? Had Aaron Judge followed up his rookie year, Chris, where he hit 50 home runs or whatever it was,
52. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if he followed that up, what did he hit the next year? I don't have it in front of me.
27.
Yeah, I mean, if he followed up
52, 27, 27. He had 9 last year. Only played 20, 2 years ago, the 28 games. Of course, that was a shortened season. Right. But he still only played half of those games. Not even, And last year, he had 39 homers, 98 RBI. Yeah. So I hear where you're coming from. And that's, look, $30 million a year. That's a lot of money to turn down when you're injury prone.
Guaranteed cheese, Chris.
Rob, if he gets hurt, and I like you said, we're not wishing this on him, but if you just look at his track record, the track record is that he's going to get hurt. And that's when it really becomes problematic for him. So, and the other thing is this, Rob, what if he's healthy? And the Yankees said it, Cashman said today, look, he has a great year and he becomes a free agent. Cashman said it. That'll show us what the real market is, right?
Right.
If another team comes and offers him a huge deal, then the Yankees will see. Do they match it?
Right.
Or do they let him walk? But Rob, we've seen players leave New York and it ain't the same. Now, I'm not saying every single case. Remember Robinson Cano?
Yep, he's with with the Yankees. Was headed to the Hall of Fame, Chris, and obviously he had the steroid issues as well. But
Right.
he went to Seattle and became the invisible man. Yep.
Disappeared. And how about Jose Reyes?
Yep.
Now, he was with the Mets, but remember, look, if you're in New York, especially with the Yankees in baseball, right?
And he
Baseball.
fits the Yankee, trademark kind of guy.
Totally.
He's all the way in.
He could
just
be
like
a Derek Jeter. Exactly.
Right.
He could be a Jeter if he stays healthy and produces like that. And Rob, the Yankees, and I always say this when Knicks fans think everybody wants to play for the Knicks. The Yankees, the Cowboys,
Yep.
the Lakers. Those are teams, those are the national teams.
Yep.
The biggest
100%.
national teams, right? And you're with one of them, I'll be honest, Rob. I mean, unless the dollar value is hugely different, I know players don't. I'd take a little less if I was a star with the Yankees. I'd take a little less to stay with them.
To stay where you are, know that you're always going to be in the mix. They only go to
Yes.
playoffs almost every year.
Yes.
And they got a shot. You know what I mean? They haven't won since 2009, but they've been in the mix. They've
All
been
you
to the
want is a
ALCS.
shot. Right.
Yeah, you want
Right.
a shot.